morning, everybody. Happy Vlogmas Day number 31. It is so hard to believe that we are almost done with Vlogmas. So today we're starting out my kitchen. I've got a lot of chores I need to do here in my kitchen because I was out of town all day yesterday, as you guys saw. So I've got all of these beans. I made sure they all sealed so they're fine to be on the counter. I need to feed my sourdough. We've got dishes to do. We've got counters to wipe. And then I have got a bunch of stuff on the table that I need to film. I'm going to go ahead and film like the Christmas decor and stuff for you guys since that's part of Vlogmas. But the actual grocery haul and the pantry tour won't be until Saturday on Snow Gardener 307. So let's go ahead and jump into this.
Hey baby, won't you scoot on over? It's cold outside, come and make me warmer as we take a ride in this winter wonderland. Snowflakes are falling on the tip of your nose. I wanna kiss you like an Eskimo as the warmth of our breath dances in the cold. You and me, baby, we've got nowhere to be. Let's get taken away in this wintry sea. Oh, snow angels on the ground, snowmen and children are all around. Colored lights on the trees make me believe that nothing could be better. This singing that King Cole is chestnuts roast. Oh, on the open fire, you next to me makes me believe that nothing could be better than Christmas with you. Street corner Santa singing ho ho ho. I pull you closer under the mistletoe. We'll make some Christmas memories of our own. 'Tis the season filled with Christmas cheer. It's the happiest time of the year. Santa made my Christmas wish come true. Being here with you, you and me, baby, we've got nowhere to be. Let's get taken away in this wintry sea. Oh, snow angels on the ground, snowmen and children are all around. Colored lights on the trees make me believe that nothing could be better. They're singing that King Cole is chestnuts roast. Oh, on the open fire, you next to me makes me believe that nothing could be better than Christmas with you. No, no, nothing could be better than Christmas with you. Nowhere to be, let's get taken away in this wintry sea. Oh, snow angels on the ground, snowmen and children are all around. Colored lights on the trees make me believe that nothing could be better. They're singing that King Cole is chestnuts roast. Oh, on the open fire, that nothing could be better than Christmas with you.
goodness, it feels good to have those beans on the shelf. And I know I promised no more bean discussion. We do have one more type of bean to can, which is red beans. I'm not going to show you guys any of it. I do still have a couple jars of navy beans that are going to go in and can with them because there wasn't room in the big canner for those. Those were in the fridge, but I'm taking them out and letting them sit so they can warm up because I don't want to can something out of the fridge and then can something that's super hot for temperature shock. But let me show you guys really quick what they look like on my shelf because I'm so excited. And remember, there is one spot left because we've got the red beans to put on there too. So hold on one second. Here we are coming into the pantry. Oh my gosh. I am so excited, you guys. This brings so much joy to my heart to know that I canned all of this food for me and my family. Is just such a sense of accomplishment. And so we've got all of our beans here. The only beans you see that are store-bought are those dark red kidney beans. Now that is something that I want to can still is some dark red kidney beans. I know that it usually doesn't matter for a light red, dark red. So I'll keep an eye out, and when I go to other stores, if you guys know, do stores that you shop at, do they have light red and dark red? Let me know. We do have one black bean there in the back because I had 2 black beans left over from the last time I canned them. But the amount for 2 pounds, I think, is just about perfect. It makes, 9 for most beans, 8 to 9 cans for most beans, and I think that is a great amount to have on my shelf. Now, baked beans, we're going to try a different recipe next time. For the baked beans that I make next time, I'm going to go ahead and use navy beans and we'll try a different recipe. So we have 6 jars of baked beans, so that's going to last us for quite some time. And you guys, let's go ahead and jump into the chili recipe. Now, I just grabbed out ground beef. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not ready to start this yet, but I wanted to show you guys what it's going to take. It is going to take about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. These packages right here are probably about a pound each. I grabbed out both. I am going to make myself a Big Mac salad as well this week, and it calls for ground beef. So I'm going to go ahead and brown this up and pull part of it for my Big Mac salad. I need 2 packs of chili seasoning. I need 2 packs of diced tomatoes and green chilies. I happen to have Rotel. I need a tomato sauce. I need a dark red kidney bean. I need a northern bean, I need a pinto bean, I need a dark or light red kidney bean, and a butter bean. Now, these 2 jars did not seal. This is why they have their rings on them, so these came out of the fridge for this portion of the video. It also calls for a cup of water, but I had some chicken broth that didn't seal from the other day, so we're going to go ahead and throw some chicken broth in there. It's not going to hurt it whatsoever. It's just going to add a little bit more flavor to it. Then we're not wasting any food. This really is brown up your ground beef with some onion. I'm going to use some frozen chopped onion too. That's what's not out on the counter right here. Brown it up with the onion. Go ahead and drain the fat off. And then you dump all of these together and you just let it simmer and cook on the stove. It is so yummy and good. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a corn casserole as well. I texted my father-in-law and my sister-in-law this morning and said, hey, I'm going to make a batch of chili. Do you guys want some? They said yes. That makes me happy because my hubby is not going to be home for chili tonight. So while he may be home tomorrow, I don't need a whole pot of chili if he's not here to eat but a day or two. I'm going to go ahead and let this ground beef thaw, obviously. And one thing you'll notice here is that on here, this ground beef says $413.25 ground beef, use quick. This tells me that I got this on clearance. When I start buying my produce and the ground beef, obviously, I have to let it thaw to cook it. But of course, if I needed to, I really could throw this in a pan and start it. I did want you guys to see what I wrote on this ground beef. This is from April of this year, and it says, use quick. This means that this ground beef was beef that I grabbed on clearance. That means I cannot thaw this and leave it sitting in the fridge for a couple days because it's probably going to go bad. So I always pull this the morning of that I'm going to use it. So, any questions on the chili? I'm just kidding. We'll go ahead and put it together a little bit later. I have got to get in my office to work on some creations for Etsy. I have been slacking because of filming Vlogmas and stuff. And so needless to say, when you don't have new stuff out, your sales kind of tank. And December has been very slow, but I have appreciated the slowness for having time to create this Vlogmas, but of course it's going to hurt the pocketbook. So I better start getting some work done. So here I am in my office. What I am working on is I am working on creating a fillable budget kit. This is my big project that I am trying to get done. I'm brand new at this. I'm using DocFly. This is the first time I've ever used this program, so it is taking me a little bit to learn the program. You guys know how that is. I'm also watching my friend Jessie in Progress on her newest video, but this is what I'm sitting here doing this morning. I do have those beans boiling. More beans. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I used my e.l.f. cup today and I had my e.l.f. shirt on. So I'm going to be sitting in here working on this PDF until I had to get my eyelashes done a little bit before noon. So I'm not going to film any of it, but that's what I'm up to. Time for my break in the office. It's 11:12. I've just had tea so far today, so I decided I needed to fix myself some food. We've got the canner going. We have got the sourdough right behind it. I want to make sourdough bread, not today, but tomorrow. So I want to have a good starter. So it's doing good so far. Obviously, haven't done anything with the chili yet. I also went ahead and pulled out the turkey so that it can start to thaw. It's going to go in the fridge. Don't worry, it's not going to stay in here. But I've got to do a grocery haul before I can put this in the fridge because all of the groceries that will be distributed, a lot in the freezer, the produce drawers, stuff like that, are in the way. So I was looking in the fridge and I'm like, I want some eggs, I want some breakfast type stuff. And I realized we've still got some potatoes left over from our Christmas dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and fry up an egg, warm up some of these potatoes, and put a fried egg on top of the potatoes. So I'll get that done. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Okay, you guys, here is my lunch. And so I probably shouldn't have put salt on the egg because I decided to do some ham, and there's also bacon in the potatoes, but certainly not healthy, but boy, does it look yummy. Okay, it's time to get the chili done, and I am actually going to go ahead and cook the onions a little bit first. So I've got two pans. I've got this pan for my chili. I am going to put a little bit of olive oil in there because I want to cook my onions down a little bit first. And I believe it said 2 onions is what it said. But like I told you guys, I am going to be using my frozen pre-chopped onion. And so truly about a cup of onion is a good amount to figure for 1 onion. So I'm going to use my measuring cup. Not because I really care about exact measurements in chili, but because I don't want to stick my hand into my bag of onions. So I have got 2 cups of onions going into this pot. And then I'm going to take about a half of one of these packages here that I showed you guys, and I'm going to put it into the small skillet. And the small skillet is going to be for my Big Mac salad. So it is most likely just going to be me eating this salad. So if I do about a half of a pound, then that will be plenty for me because that will be enough for 2 salads. And for me, truly, I don't mind leftovers, but 2 or 3 times of eating something is the best way for me and the way that it makes me most happy. So I'm going to go ahead and let these onions start to sweat a little bit. And I'm letting my pan get a little bit hot over there before I go ahead and put my ground beef in. For my Big Mac salad, it does call for onions, but it calls for raw onions. So we are going to just take this beef right here, put it in there. I do love a good mix and chop. This is the Pampered Chef brand one, but it doesn't matter what kind you get. For crumbling up your beef, I can't believe I used to do this with my bamboo spoon before. Makes it so easy to get this cut up and cooked. So we are going to be doing 2 meals at once to make life easier. Truly, that is what it's about, is making your life easier. I tend not to do that very well. I tend to do things a little bit hard sometimes. Do you guys ever do that? I know it can't just be me. I'm putting my onions away. And I want to get this started. It's about 2:30. I probably should have started this a little bit sooner. I do like for my chili to cook for several hours on the stovetop or in a crock pot. And this meat is still partially frozen, but those onions are now thawed at least, so they're not frozen. I'm going to go ahead and put that full pack of ground beef in, that other half a pack of ground beef in. So we are set in these pans right here. This pan right here for my Big Mac salad, all it's going to get is salt and pepper. Just like the burgers at McDonald's, or that's what they used to get on them. I don't know what they get now. So we'll go ahead and throw half-cooked burger all over the place apparently. And then I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper this. And of course, measure with your heart. And the dressing is what makes this Big Mac salad so yummy. I think I've featured it on my Snow Gardener 307 channel before, but I cannot remember. And I'm going to go ahead and use this spoon that I was using for the other one, because right now all we have is onions and beef, so it's going to be just fine. And then this pot, I need to go ahead and break down this beef so that it can start cooking. And then once the beef is done, I'm going to go ahead and drain some of the grease off in both of the pots. And for the salad, I'm just going to go ahead and let it cool a little bit in this pan. And then I'm going to put it into a container. Then all I have to do is make the dressing for the Big Mac salad. And for this meal right here, I am going to go ahead and do a corn casserole. I just found out from my father-in-law that my mother-in-law is actually home from Jackson as well. So I'm going to take them some chili and some cornbread casserole. Turn the heat down back here. Make sure that this gets completely done. So yeah, this is plenty of beef for me for 2 salads. And you can see this is a higher fat beef. I generally don't buy the lower fat beef because it's too expensive, you guys. It's not in my budget. I don't want to spend that much money on ground beef. All right, you guys, I'll be back in just a little bit. Well, I just broke one of my wine glasses. So there is glass all over the floor. Don't worry, I've got tennis shoes on and the puppies are not in here. One of these wine glasses right here, I was trying to get my little tripod right here and I wasn't paying attention, but don't worry, I have one more for my set of 8. And that's it. And so I'll wash it up because it's been sitting on that counter for a while, but I've got to get this cleaned up. So I have turned my pot right here all the way down to low so I can focus on this cleanup. Then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, now that I've cleaned up my mess, and holy cow, you guys, that glass went everywhere because, of course, I hit it with the thing that's holding the camera right now, and it hit the stuff on the rolling island and then, you know, broke there. and then went onto the floor and broke, and it was all over the kitchen. It was actually in the dining room as well. So I'm glad I had shoes on when I broke it. So we need to get rid of some of this grease. And you guys may or may not have seen my trick for this. I'm certainly not the inventor of this. I saw somebody else do it, and I really liked it. It made it easier. And so, of course, you can see we've got quite a bit of grease there. We do not want all of that in our chili. So we're going to do our paper towel method, which is where we put a couple paper towels in and let them soak up the grease. And I might go ahead and do another couple paper towels too, because that is pretty much full there. And there is still quite a bit of grease, and I don't want that much grease. If you don't want to do it this way, by, all means do not. Make sure you're not dumping it down your sink though, right? Because you're going to plug your sink that way. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this, is that I can just throw these in the garbage and I don't have to worry about it. That is one of the reasons why with my sourdough, why I wipe everything down. So paper towels, I know it might freak some people to put paper towels into their food, but it is what it is. Okay, let's get this chili started, shall we? So we're going to go ahead and do 2 packs of chili seasoning. Does not matter what brand, does not matter what kind. You can do spicy, you can do mild, you can do original. These are mild, and they are Great Value brand. So from Walmart, just out of my pantry. They are the oldest ones. I don't really like a super hot chili, but I love me some flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. Now we need to start opening up some cans. And if I was smart, I would have done this before I brought you guys back on. But sometimes your girl ain't smart. I mean, she did just throw her her wine glass on the floor, so she must not be that smart. So we're going to go ahead and drain all of our beans into a colander and then add them into the pan. But first, let's get our tomatoes in there so that we've got some liquid. So can opener, let's go, let's go. So we've got 2 cans of Rotel, but they can be generic. Does not matter. I just happen to have Rotel. It's probably because they were on sale. And so we're going to go ahead and add those in. We've got 1 can of tomato sauce. And I'm just opening them up as they are stacked. Then we've got 5 things of beans. We've got dark kidney beans, light kidney beans, and we also have pinto beans, great northern beans, and butter beans. So we'll get this mixed up. I am going to grab that chicken broth that I told you guys I was going to use, just because I don't have any other plans for it. I could use a little bit in the stuffing as well for the turkey, but let's see how much we will use up. The recipe calls for a cup of water, and like I said, I'm going to go ahead and use this chicken broth instead. But of course, I want to get all that yumminess out of my can here. I think this spoon is probably too big. Oh, it's not. I'm impressed. Stir that around a little bit and get all of that out of there. So that was about half. Okay, we're going to let this cook while I open all of the beans and drain them. I am going to go ahead and start off with our store-bought dark kidney beans. And we are going to rinse all of them. But I'm just starting with that one and rinsing that one really good because I don't know exactly how much salt was in those. I do know for these ones how much salt. So that's one of my great northern beans. Oh yeah, look at that. Can we get them out? That's the question. There we go. Okay, rinse those on out. We've got our pinto beans. Again, these are the beans that you guys have been watching me can. And I just got done canning the red beans. And the red beans had a problem. But it happens, you guys. Okay, we've got our light kidney beans. And it's funny because look at these that are kidney beans. Do those look light to you compared to the other ones? And we've got our butter beans. Now, our butter beans, I don't know how these turned out, you guys, because they are a little bit weird. They are, and maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. So, let's go ahead and dump these out and see what they look like. I mean, they look like beans, right? But you can see they broke down quite a bit. We've also got quite a bit of the outer pieces by themselves. So this could be a learning thing for me. I'm going to go ahead and everything's soft though. And you also see these parts of the beans right there, they're soft. So I was worried about that. And they don't look the best, but that's what the recipe calls for. And I love butter beans, so you guys, I will figure that out. Okay, let's go ahead and add these into our chili. So we're going to stir these in. And we're going to let this cook. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this chicken broth in here. And I might put more water in here as well. Like I said, the chicken broth, it's just going to give it some flavor. It's not like it's going to make it taste like something besides chili. Right? So everything in here is fully cooked now. So really, all we need to do is just let it cook down. Let it simmer a little bit. And see the taste, and see, I like a little bit more water in there than this. It's been a while since I've cooked this recipe. And I do want to taste it. Yes, I know it hasn't cooked together, but I want to taste it. I want to try, and I want to try a butter bean. See. Tastes really good. It just needs more liquid. I went ahead and put 2 canning jars full of water in there because I'm going to let this cook for at least 2 hours. I am going to go ahead and turn it probably to somewhere in between medium and low. Okay, there's a lot of background noise. The vacuum is running right now and I have the dishwasher running. But I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about with the beans. So if you look at these beans right here, they look pretty a-okay. But then you look at these beans back here. What has happened to their liquid? They have siphoned, and this happens sometimes. And if you look at my liquid here, you can see that some of their liquid is now in the water. And so I haven't had anything do a siphon as bad as these ones have, but as long as they seal, they will be just fine. And so they've boiled over into the pot is what has happened. And yeah, I mean, it happens, right? But you look at these 3 and they're absolutely fine. I cannot touch them now, so I just have to leave them. You can see they're still boiling. And you can even see this one right here has a little bit more water. And I don't know if you guys can see, but that middle one right there only has probably 1.5 inches of liquid in there. So that is the worst one right there. So that is the first one that I'll use. But it happens, you guys. And if you're expecting perfection when you are canning, you know, don't come to this girl. That's all I can say. All right, you guys, I will see you in a little bit. Here we are, you guys. We are getting ready to make Paula Deen's cornbread casserole. I don't know how many of you guys have had a cornbread casserole before or this recipe, but this is one of my favorite recipes. It is so easy. So obviously I used the spoon that I had gotten the sour cream out with. Work smarter, not harder, as they say, right? And then I also learned that if I needed to melt my butter and I wanted to do it in the microwave, that if I left it in the wax wrapper, then it wouldn't pop all over my microwave. Right? I know sometimes I do amuse myself, but I amaze even myself. And we are going to go, so we've got a 1/2 cup of sour cream. We have got one stick of butter. We're going to open a can of whole corn, kernel corn, a can of cream style corn, and then we've got the trusty Jiffy cornbread mix. And that's it. And then we're going to top it with cheese when it is most of the way done baking. But it's so easy. If you guys have not tried this, you've got to try it. It is one of Bridger and I's favorite. Now, of course, I need to go ahead and drain my corn. So I'm going to do that in the sink. And then I have got my cream corn here. Go ahead and get that out of the can. And our spoon is falling. Our spoon is falling. And I like to cook this in cast iron. That is my favorite way to do it. So I've got Mr. Snow Gardener's cast iron right here. And it is seasoned up, so it does not need any grease or anything like that. And the only bad thing is I'm making this when he's not home. So that means I'm going to have to clean the cast iron. It's really not that bad to clean, but it is funny because he is definitely the cast iron chef and he is the smoker in our family. He loves to smoke meats. He loves to cook in cast iron. So when I can find a recipe that is something that he can do, it makes me happy, because if I can find another favorite that is a him thing instead of a me thing, then I consider that a win. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix all of this up. And I don't know if I need that spoon or not. I might be able to just do it with my spatula. And of course, you can see the cornbread has got chunks in it. So try to go ahead and mash that down so that you don't end up with a big dry spot of cornbread. And I just realized that our spoon does have a little bit of sour cream and stuff on it. We don't want that to go to waste, right? So we're just going to mix this. We're going to put it into a 350-degree oven. It is going to cook for about 45 minutes. And then I'm going to top it with cheese. We're going to cook it for another, I think, 10 minutes. I'm just going off of my memory, so, you know, I could be wrong, but we make sure that is all baked. Not all baked. We make sure that's all mixed. And we just put it into our cast iron. Now, you can do this in a 9x13, or I believe they have a crock pot version as well. But I love doing it in the cast iron. It is one of the first times that we made it. Mr. Snow Gardener did it in the cast iron, and we just kind of stuck with it. And we have baked it in stoneware as well before, and it was yummy. But again, just a fun recipe. I will be taking some chili and some of this to my in-laws tonight and my sister-in-law. I need to text them and say dinner's going to be about 6 o'clock so they know, because this is going to take about an hour to get done. Dinner turned out amazing. I forgot to take any photos of anything when I dished it up for my sister-in-law, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, but everybody enjoyed their food. I didn't even take a picture of my bowl. The way that I like to eat that combination is I like to go ahead and put some of each into the bowl. So I put them side by side. I put some chili. I put some cornbread. That's not cornbread casserole, corn casserole next to it, so that I can taste both. And sometimes I'll even put ketchup on top of my chili. It brings me back to childhood. I used to eat ketchup on everything. But, you guys, it was absolutely amazing. It is almost 9:30 at night. And I have spent so much time on creating a fillable PDF. I started working on this before Christmas. And today was the deadline that I gave myself to have it to my members. And business failure for me because it is 9:30 at night and they still don't have it. But I did film them a video and let them know I'm working on it. I showed them the same stuff that I showed you guys. And so now I am actually working in a completely different program. That's right, everybody. And so I'm actually working in Adobe now, and you can make it fillable. But I am learning as I do it. So I thought I was all done, and I was like, okay, I got this done. Not all of the pages, but I got like 15 pages done. I'm like, yes, I'm all done. And then I went in and I saved it and I did everything, and then I tested it. And I realized, because I was copying and pasting the text boxes, when you do that, when you type into the text box, if it's text box number 1, then whatever you type into that goes into every box 1. So it didn't work. But let me show you guys, just in case you ever want to do a fillable document, let me show you in Adobe a couple of the things that I figured out. So I'm going to go ahead and flip you around. Okay, hopefully you can see this okay. So I know recording my computer screen is not ideal. I did turn off my light on my phone and everything. So what I'm working on right now is I am working on my weekly spending, and this is the January design. I am so excited, you guys. I've changed things up. If you're familiar with my budget kits, you know that this is a change up for me. And so I am going through and I'm adding text boxes here. So what we need to do is over here, we add a text field. Now, this is not the free Adobe. This is the paid version, of course. So I add the text box, and then I have to go up here to the arrow so that I can go ahead and size the text box for what I want. And now I'm going to go ahead and right click it, and I'm going to click create multiple copies. And then for this box right here, I'm going to do it 9 times. And then I'm going to click OK. And now I have different text boxes, and as you tab through, it'll go from one line to the next line to the next line to the next line to the next line. So I am getting there. I am figuring it out. It is a learning process. It is not something that I've ever done before. And of course, that is the thing with being a creator. Sometimes you've just got to jump in. You've got to figure it out for yourself. Like I kept looking for videos on how to use the other program that I actually bought, and it just was not user-friendly whatsoever. And so then I was like, okay, what else can I do? And this is what I came up with. But of course, I am having to learn. Oops, I did the wrong one. So that was trying to do fields across. And so I'm doing fields down. So 9 fields down. And then each day has its own box. But the other thing that I started thinking about with this is because if you want to fill this out multiple times, then you're not going to be able to use the same one over and over. So I'm just creating more work for myself. Like always. And so now I need to go back into my Canva. And so here's my Canva right here. If you guys haven't seen what Canva looks like, we're going to make that a little bit bigger there. And so let's go ahead and make more copies of the pages. Actually, the best way to do this is this way. So we're going to go ahead and let's see, there are 5 Thursdays. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are 4 Mondays. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're just going to drag these. And in order for this to be a truly fillable kit, to where if you wanted to do the whole thing, I'm going to have to do every page. And it's not ideal, but hey, this is what I offered. And so luckily for this one, it's still not that bad. You guys saw how quick that's going to go. And so I'm going to have to go ahead and save this again. And so we're going to go ahead and save it. So we're going to download it. We're going to download it as a PDF. We're going to download all the pages. And we're going to start over. And it is 9:36. But you guys, let me go ahead and turn you around. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break from this. Let's go into my dining room. And to end our Vlogmas today, I will show you what I got at Walmart and what I got at TJ Maxx yesterday while I was out of town. If you want to see the grocery haul, I've said this already, you need to tune in to Snow Gardener 307 on Saturday. So let's go ahead and take a break because I've been working at this for way too long. All right, everybody. Here is what I got yesterday. Yes, it is a big pile. But the first thing I want to show you guys is this bag right here. I did not buy this bag. My son's girlfriend actually made this bag for me. I am not a sewer. She said she did it very quickly and has some rough edges on purpose. So like when you look at the top of the bag, it's got some little pieces here that she did with a rough finish on purpose. Look at how fun this bag is right here. Inside, she also did, let's see if I can open this bag. I just have to show you guys. And my son's girlfriend does not like being on camera. So if you watched the vacation vlog, she was the one that had her face covered all the time. She does not want to be on YouTube. And so inside it's got a nice black finish. It also has a divider on the inside and I absolutely love it. So I don't know if her or my son are going to watch this, but I just wanted to thank her so much for my bag. Like, look at how long those handles are. I love it. It's a cute little bag that I can grab. And it's big enough that I could put a planner or something in there. But look at how cute the pattern of that is. So I didn't buy it, but I just had to share it with you guys. Let's go ahead and start off with TJ Maxx. First of all, every time I go to TJ Maxx, I buy a bag. So that one was 99 cents. I should have gotten a Christmas one for 50 cents, but I didn't think about it. And for the money that I spent at TJ Maxx, I use my guilt-free spending money. So I bought whatever the heck I wanted to buy myself. And so in the back here, we have got the wine glasses, and I just thought they were so cute. And of course, it just says drinking glasses, right? And they were $7.50. So I'm super excited to use those next year. And then I got myself a new shower curtain. So excited for a new shower curtain. It is it was $13. And then I got myself some pineapple slices dipped in dark chocolate, and these were $4.99. I went ahead and got the dogs a treat, the Yorkies. So I got sweet potato fries, dog treats, $6.99. And I looked at these and they look pretty small, so I think they'll like those. And then I went ahead and got myself some English breakfast tea. And so this is the Secret Garden, 50 tea bags, and it was only $2.50. And then I missed having the shortbread advent calendar this year. We got it last year and we didn't have any shortbread. So when I saw these, I thought I would grab them for everybody to munch on. And these were $5 is how much they were. And it looks like there's 24 cookies in there. And then last but not least, you guys, I got myself some PJs. But I didn't look really good at the PJs. And so the PJs were hanging on large hangers. I'm not sure if this top is going to fit me because somebody did one of those things. So it's $10 for the set and it's a Hello Kitty, but the top is a medium. And I don't usually wear a medium top, and the bottom is a large. So I'm super hopeful, but they're super soft. They're super comfy. And then I also got this 3-piece set that I didn't check the size on either. Let's hope this one didn't get all switched around. We should probably look. $13 for this one. We've got a large top. We have got large pants and large shorts. Okay, so that one didn't get swapped out, but how cute are these? I'm not a huge Hello Kitty fan. It's not like I got these because they were Hello Kitty. I got them because they were on sale and they were soft and pretty. The only thing I wish is that the top was the right size, and I wish that the top had long sleeves, but look at the bows on this. So super cute. So out of my spending money, I spent $57.06 because I had a reward certificate for $10. So not too shabby. That's what all that was. And then we've got Walmart. And some of the Walmart prices, I need to go back and look because I didn't pay attention, because by the time I got out of Walmart, I just wanted to get the heck out of there after waiting for my car for an hour without them even touching it. So it said all Christmas stuff was supposed to be 75% off if I remember correctly. But maybe I'm not remembering the food correctly. So you guys can tell me yesterday's video, and I'll go back and watch the footage. But the food didn't ring up 50% off. So let's go ahead and start with these green, large, shatterproof ornaments. Aren't they pretty? I never would have bought these at full price. And the reason why I never would have bought them at full price was the price of these. Let me find them on my receipt. Dun, dun, dun. I had found them before, and now I'm like, I don't see them. Okay, right here. So these were $12.28 per box, but that doesn't sound like a normal Walmart price, does it? Ending with an 8, but it said they were $12.28. I paid $3.07. I got 2 of them, $3.07. Earlier in the vlog, I think I showed you guys I had gotten some of these brown ornaments to go along with my gingerbread theme. And so I went ahead and grabbed 2 more sets of those. These were $8.18, it says. So I got them for $2.04. And then I got the silver disco balls. I love this type of ornament because if you put it inside of the tree, it picks up all of your Christmas lights and makes your tree just amazing. These were $10.97, and I got them for $2.74, and I got 3 of them. Super, super excited about that. And then the berry clips. I saw these. I didn't see what the price was. And the problem with the berry clips is, of course, these berries do get kind of looking haggard. And of course, I can take these off and it will be okay. But the berry clips, I always get an odd number. So I get 5 or I get 7 usually. And we've got 7 of these. And so it did not say what the price was on the tag, so I wasn't sure, but of course they were 75% off. These were normally $3.74. I got them for 93 cents a piece, so I'm okay with that. And then also for a gingerbread theme, I saw these cute little gingerbread. super cute, red, and I wasn't sure of the price on these either, but I knew they were 75% off. And so I said, what the heck? And so these ornaments were $2.14, and I got 7 of them for $3.71. So they were 53 cents a piece. I also, for the same price, got these ornaments. These just spoke to me. They are glass. They are just so pretty. So pretty. So I'm excited. I don't know what I'm doing with those next year, but all of these together, these 3 things would look absolutely amazing. Then I did go ahead and get that espresso martini. It was normally $9.97. I got it for $4.98, so not bad. I went ahead and grabbed a couple of the nut mixes they had. I'm going to use at least 1, if not 2 of these as the prizes for the saran wrap game that we're going to be playing. And these right here were, where are they? Okay, they were $7.97. I paid $3.98. So the food rang up as 50% off. Is that right? You guys, I don't know, but that's what I paid for each jar of those, was $3.98. And then I got myself some chopped onion because I needed some chopped onion. It was $3.48. And then I showed you guys the picture of the Nestle Toll House cocoa, and I got it because it was $1. It rang up as $3. Oh, I'm not on my game, right? Not on my game. So $3, that was going into the prize box as well because I already have cocoa. And then let's go ahead and do the candy in the front. So I did get the sugar cookie big cups, and those rang up as 62 cents. They were $1.24. I got a thing of 6 trees, and those were, let's see, $6.32, and I got them for $3.07. And then I got this big thing of miniatures that were $14.82, and I got them for $7.41. And then I got bubble gum pops with teen. I got these for my kids, and this is part of that. Both of my kids love tahine, and I love tahine too, but I saw these and I just thought it was pretty cool. And so where did they go? I think they were like a couple dollars or something. $1.50. They were $3. They were $1.50. And for my grandbaby, her room is done in Lilo and Stitch and Angel. And so they had this cute little plushie clip. And so I went ahead and grabbed this. I'm going to add this to her Christmas present, even though she's not born yet. This was $6.12. I got it for $1.53. And then back here, we've got mason jars. Now, I got 3 of these at Walmart and 3 at Ace. So I got the regular mouth jars were $13.44. The other jars were $14.47. At Ace, they were too expensive. I shouldn't have gotten them. I got 3 additional packs. I think they were 17 something, but I just wanted to have them. And then the pectin was also spendy. So for the pectin, it was $17.23 for a 6-pack. And then I went ahead and got myself that special K, that peaches and cream. It was $3 a box. I love peach, and I just wanted to try it. So I hope it's delicious. And I just realized the reason why I got this was because I thought there was pieces of peaches in there. And I'm hoping there is, but I don't see any on, let's see, rice and no, crunchy wheat and rice, peach flavored flakes, and vanilla clustered oats, or vanilla clusters. I was thinking there was peaches in there. Dang it. Well, hopefully it's good. I got 2 boxes of that. So this is what I got. And Walmart, I spent $140.80. And as far as budget, it's coming out of a few different things. It's coming out of Prepper Pantry for the canning jars. It's coming out of food for the nuts and stuff like that. And holidays for the rest of it. So that is what I spent for the fun, silly stuff. And so less than $200, right? 197 something for these items here. Still, you guys, this isn't my normal everyday shopping. I don't normally go out and buy myself pajamas. I really don't normally go out and buy Christmas decor, but I do have a hard time saying no to discounted Christmas decor. So that is it for me tonight, you guys. Thanks for joining me today. And until I see you guys next time, which will be tomorrow, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.